Let's speak now to Mikael Valtersson. He's a military analyst and former officer with the Swedish Army and joins us now from Stockholm. Mikael, welcome. So, firstly, Macron and Zelensky came out of the meeting today saying that there would be a post-ceasefire reassurance force in Ukraine. But of course, we know that Moscow rejects this. I mean, what's going to happen from here, and how crucial is some clarity from the US to give this credibility?
Well, first of all, the Europeans must have the support of the United States, because without it, most of the European countries will not participate in any security agreement for Ukraine. The only thing they might agree on is to deliver weapons and also to train soldiers, but of course no soldiers on the ground. And if only one or maybe 3-4 countries are willing to send soldiers without the US, they won't send it either, because they are too few. So it's a hypothetical discussion, because this is for the situation after some kind of peace agreement, or at least a ceasefire, and that's very far off.
And these comments from Donald Trump today saying that the Europeans need to stop buying Russian oil. We just heard from our correspondent in Paris there that it's actually only Hungary and Slovakia that are doing that. So what do you make of these comments from Donald Trump?
Well, he says there are a lot of things, but if we look on the energy situation, he might have mixed it up with the deliveries of natural gas, because Europe buys a lot of natural gas, but when it comes to oil, it's a very, very limited amount. But we often say that Europe pays Russia as much for energy as they send to Ukraine in help. So, of course, it would be a blow for Russia if they couldn't sell any energy to Europe, but it would be just a small blow. And US would be the winner, because they would replace Russia and sell much more expensive oil, or at least natural gas, to Europe.
And as you point out, these discussions today are about security guarantees post-ceasefire, but we haven't had any discussion about a ceasefire. How much closer to a ceasefire happening do you think we are after today?
Not at all. The last weeks we have moved away from a ceasefire, because after the meeting in Alaska, Trump was pushing Ukraine and Europe ahead of him, and they were afraid that he would put too much pressure on them. But he hasn't done that, and he hasn't put any pressure on Russia either. So Europe continues talking about things that Russia won't accept, and Russia demands things that Ukraine and the Europeans won't accept. And the USA is mainly looking on.
Military analyst, thanks so much for your analysis here on TRT World.